Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Monday, June 21st market update. There was no economic events out today, and on deck for tomorrow is the monthly existing home sales number, which I think I said last Friday it was on Monday, but I was looking at the wrong day since there was no economic events. The dollar, copper, and oil were up. Gold and silver were down. Light Sweet Crude Futures, and I'm looking at the August contract now, we're up 64 cents to settle at $77.82 a barrel. And looking at the UUP here, we're pretty oversold here on the dollar, so we've got this trend line resistance here, but we might take it out. Let's go over and take a look at the West Texas Intermediate Crude Point Figure chart. We have the bullish projective 98. We are up against this resistance around this $80 mark. So we're still there. Ran it. We got to 79.94 today, so right at it. We'll have to see if we take this out and continue higher or if we pull back. Still watching that. Let's take a look at the Dow. Whoops. Let's go to 6 month. So the Dow closed down 8 points to 10,442. S&P closed down 4 points to 1,113. NASDAQ closed down 20 points to 2289, and Russell closed down 6 points to 660. The Dow held up the best by being down only 0.08%. The Russell was the weakest, down 1.03%. So if you can tell by this candle here, kind of a, we were way up today, huge rally in the morning, and pretty much grinded lower throughout the day, and did bounce a little bit off the bottom here. Make it a little bigger. So here's the candle. A little bit of a shooting star type candle here on the Dow. So we're basically still around this trend line area. We're really haven't moved a whole lot here in the last 4 days now. And looking at the S&P, we did wind up still closing below this. I've been watching this 1,120 area and this trend line, so we're still closed below it. Back to this 60-minute chart, we can't seem to get away from these areas. So, I've been watching. It's been kind of this rising wedge where we had resistance up here. We did take it out intraday, but then during the day we wound up closing and actually closing below this uptrend line here. So we did get some support right here around this 1,110. So we were watching that. And this market's been pretty hard to read as of late, at least for me. So the MACD was going lower, so it is going lower here, and we'll watch to see what happens here in the next couple of days to see if we bounce higher or if we roll back over. And also on the Russell, which we've been watching this, this channel down on the 60-minute chart. The Russell, again, same thing. So we're back down in this, we took out the channel, kind of a bull trap, then fell right back down. So we're back down in this dang channel again we can't get out of. So you can see it did trying to catch support around this 660. So we'll see if it holds. MACD is pointing lower though on the 60-minute chart. Let's take a look at what else we had. Oh, volume is still, horrible volume, still about 20 to 40% below average, the way it's been here in the last couple weeks as of late. Let's take a look at gold. Gold had a pretty big pullback today, pretty heavy selling here. There's only 2% pullback, but it was definitely selling, so we'll see what happens here at the uptrend line on gold. Silver also pulling back today over 2%. Should have some support down here in this area here, so we'll be watching for that. Copper got a bounce. We've had a lot of selling in copper. We got a bounce today, a little buying, and of course it closed way off its highs. The volatility index, actually it's held this support around here. It's got some support around here, and it actually did hold here. So what else we got? We got a euro, pretty tight range here. We did sell, did pull back today, so we'll see what happens here. Come on, there we go. So we did pull it back today, about not quite a 0.5%, but we're still right here in this area. Let's go look at the McClellan. Look at the NYSE McClellan oscillator. 35. So we're not really we're getting closer to this neutral area. We're not really overbought. We're not over. Obviously, we're not oversold. So so we're kind of more neutral. So we could pretty much go either way from here as far as the oscillator goes. Let's take a look at the sectors. So only one of the 16 sectors that follow finished in green today. That was the Industrial Transportation Index. It was up 0.25%. The gold index was the weakest. That's the miners, and they were down 2.55%. But they've been on quite a run. Over to ChartWatch. CAVM. Most of these we've been watching. I still like, it had a big breakout here. Pulled back here 2%. No volume behind this pullback. So it might be able to buy it off support here unless the market just rolls over and dies from here. But it's hard to tell right now what it's going to do. Chicago Bridge and Iron holding up well today. No selling volume. So it's, as long as it holds around this 20 or so, still looks fine. Several of the China stocks are looking real strong. C-Trip, was flying higher today. Sienna broke out above the downtrend line, did pull back, had a shooting star type candlestick, but might want to keep your eye on it. Baidu going higher today as well. Sohu breaking out as well above the downtrend line and then pulling back. CAAS, China Automotive, as long as it holds around that 1925, it was looking pretty good today. And then, of course, your techs, your SanDisk, still holding that support around that 47.50 or so. Still looks fine. Salesforce, still no selling volume here as long as it holds this trend line, and it's still looking all right. Akamai, still holding tough in there, consolidating real tight range. AMCC, if it can hold this around this 1150, 1175, you might want to keep an eye on here. It hasn't had a nice breakout there on Friday. It's looking pretty good. FFIV still holding its support line. It's looking all right as well. NP broke higher today after this tight consolidation. It's looking really good. NetLogic still, it's still pretty tight consolidation. It started to go higher today with the market, and then of course the market weakened, but it's still looking pretty good there after it broke out of the triangle. Yum, another one that's kind of just had this flag and then was wanting to go higher today. Tons of volume behind it, tons of volume here, so Yum's still looking pretty good. Metal, some of the steel makers tried to break out today, then pulled back with the market, but a lot of volume coming in, so possibly over today's high of 2302. HXL. Been watching this one. It's still holding up really well. TWC, Time Warner. It's also holding up really well, looking pretty good here. And then FCX breaking out above the trend line today. Huge volume behind that with the move on copper up a little bit today. I still like ESI short. You might consider, if the market continues lower, some IWM puts here, and then use the today's high as your stop possibly. And COG, still like this one short, looking short. And then, of course, you could go long the SH if you don't do options, just in case we keep going lower. So let's go over and take a look at the current market signals. Follow the point and figure charts for the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. They all remain on buy signals. They all have pretty lofty price objectives now. I will note that the Dow ran into its trend line resistance today. So, we got to a high of 10,594. So right around this 10,600, we ran into trend line resistance. So we'll see if that really does stop us from going up or not. And I'll also note, same thing on the Russell. Russell ran into its trend line resistance. High on the Russell today was 677, right around this 680. Right around there, we've got this, the trend line down that we ran into. So we'll be watching that here over the next couple of days to see what happens. All right, that is it for today. Thanks for watching.